So does he have a hearing then, a chance at getting out?
He's not getting nothing now because of me.
What do you mean by that?
You see how this works. When I was in jail, I just want to get on with my jail. But Danny and Stephen, that were being naughty outside, so it affected my risk on the inside.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
They associate that.
Yeah.
Puts your risk up.
Yeah. So Danny progressing well. He's getting through the system well. He's finally turned the corner. He's progressing. He's got all the haters jumping on him. He's converted to Islam. Now, Danny hasn't converted to Islam like the sex offenders do. Danny hasn't converted to Islam to seek protection of the Muslims. Danny has turned to Islam because it brings peace into his life in that solitary confinement conditions he's in. It's the only thing that calms him down. It's the only thing that gives him focus and narrative in his life. So when people are criticising individuals for converting or reverting, you've got to understand there's different reasons why people convert or revert. It doesn't matter what faith you're going to follow. People like me, I embrace Christianity for the peace it brings into my life. Although it's only small, it gives me them moments of peace. Danny converted to Islam after being a staunch Catholic all his life. He's turned to Islam, not through conditioning of extreme Muslims, not by choice. Why has he chose to do that? It's because it brings him peace. And you know what? I'm made up. He's converted to Islam because you see the people of Islam and the love they give to their brothers. That's what Danny's receiving now. And that's why I appreciate and respect the Muslim fraternity within our country, because the amount of love they've showed me. I get love of different nationalities. I get more love off people don't know me than Scousers. I don't feel a love from Liverpool the way I do when I'm out of Liverpool. So it is what it is.
We interviewed Billy Moore on here. He's from Liverpool, and he was in prison in Thailand, and he converted as well. If you want to see that, it's on the True Crime Podcast playlist. And Wild Woman as well, one of my co-defendants, she converted in Arizona. There's a sense of community, and they're looking out for each other and getting better food and things like that. Are you allowed to visit him?
No.
How come?
Well, I've mentioned anyway, we couldn't be in the same prison together right through our prison sentence. At an early age, we'd done something mad, and they separated us from them. We couldn't be in the same prison together ever.
Are prisoners allowed to visit ex-prisoners? Ex-prisoners allowed to visit prisoners in this country?
Yeah.
They can?
Yeah, after 3 months of you leaving prison, you're allowed to enter another prison to visit someone.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, but with me and Danny, the police don't want us talking. So I haven't seen Danny. I haven't seen Danny's face now for 7 years. Because the prison won't let me. So I give my details in to get put on the list so I can be security cleared to get in there. It goes missing. Danny puts it in. There's a problem with admin. And this is ongoing. Anyone else has got the right. Like, for them to refuse me to go to my older brother's funeral, that's a human right breached right there. For them not to let me go to my dad's funeral, that's a human right breached right there. Anyone else in the system, if their dad died, they would go. Doesn't matter how notorious she was, they'd go. But for me, some reason, not me.
So when I spoke to you, we did a previous short clip, and we put the clip up that Neil Samworth did. We put Danny's address in the description box because some people asked, how can we write to him? And I believe some people have written to him. Do you think that he's getting those letters, or do you think he's getting obstructed? And we'll put the address in the description box below this video if people do want to write to him, to attempt to write to him.
The best way, what's happening is there's no way the authorities are giving Danny any love. Doesn't matter what form it's coming in, whether by letter, postal orders or anything like that. They're disrupting it. You know, they're fucking with his mind. Constant, daily, weekly, monthly. It is what it is. He's a product of that environment, and he's a test case. And some of the situations they put him in, I know they've been testing. It's as simple as that. They've put him in some conditions where they're testing the durability of his mind and stuff like this. You know, it is what it is. He's becoming a test case.
What conditions are those?
strip cell for 7 days, 8-man unlock, you know, just soul destroying, putting him in a glass room where he's got no privacy at all, leaving the lights on of a night, no, just all irritating, mind controlling things.
So they tortured him as well.
Tortured him bad, mate. He's had irons, he's had broken wrists, broken ankles, broken toes, cheekbones. This is all off screws.
What's happened with your other brothers?
Well, Billy committed suicide. Ian, he's just a rat. Stephen's in custody.
You don't get along with Ian?
No, I don't speak to Ian. Don't want to know nothing to do with him. He's poison and he's killing the kids of Liverpool. So I don't speak to him.
And what about the other brothers then?
Danny in jail. Billy killed himself. Stephen's doing a 10 for what Stephen's done. The police made him out to be some terrible wrong'un where he's battered this arm man, but this is what's happened. For a few months he's been blagging he's a council official, and every time someone went into the red light area to get a prostitute, he'd go over to them, confront them and fine them as if he was an official. And he'd get some 100,000 whatever. On this one occasion he's done it to this fella, and the fella's panicked. Don't tell me wife, I've got the money in the house, come back to the house. So when he's gone back to the house, he's given him a drink, and then he started moaning about not paying the money. Stephen said, you got to pay the money. The fella's assaulted him. Stephen turned around and weighed him in, went out the house, left the can of drink, got arrested. The police made out that it was a fragile old man, and he weren't a fragile old man. He was a big, hefty man. He was getting prostitutes. You know, it is what it is. But the family's destroyed off drugs.
Is Danny still in the same prison we put the address up for last year? Has he moved?
No, he's still in Strangeways.
Strangeways, Manchester. So I asked you earlier about any good times with your brothers, and we went down this path into the darkness again. Even as kids, like, there must have been some happy, positive occasions.
You know what, mate? As I said before, there is. But they're all in bad environments. So me and Danny are having a buzz in jail. Not on the street outside my mum's house. Me and Danny are finding enjoyment in a care home there in a room off daft stuff. We're not in the street playing football. So when we had fun together, it's not really fun.
But people will be fascinated by what you just said. Like, I understand it's relative, but take us to you and Danny in a prison. How did you make the most of that, have fun together? I
just can't, honest to God, I'm trying to search a time when I can honestly say me and Danny have been happy, and I can't. I just cannot find it. There might have been a time when we'd got a jacket. Yeah, we've got a new jacket.
Yeah.
Because in our house, it was first up, best dressed. So if you were first up, you'd have a little scrap to get the best pair of trainees on your feet. You're on it?
Yeah.
That's what it was in our house. So when we got some new clothes, we'd be happy.
What about birthdays, Christmas?
I'm in jail most of my birthdays, mate.
Even as a kid?
Yeah, well, from 13, I'm in the care system. Come to 15, I get my first 15 months detained. And then every year, I've only been out 3 birthdays since I was 16. I'm now 42.
So pre-teen even?
Yeah.
It was just suffering.
It's just a system. That's why I'm trying to direct these kids away from that system. Once they put you in this system, once a social worker gets a grip of you, you get put into this system and you're profiled and you're numbered, and you do never, ever, ever let you go. They don't let you go. Even now, right now, they're still not letting me crack on. They're still putting things in place to prevent me from progressing with this message.
Besides the story opened with your brother, when was the other lowest moments of your life?
In what sense?
Just like you just felt, fucking hell, I can't keep going, this is just so bad.
I don't know, I felt a very low moment when I found out David Regan weren't involved in the murder.
What do you mean by that?
Well, David Regan got put in the picture for the murder that he was killed for, but he had nothing to do with it. Now, I didn't find that out until later on in life, and that destroyed me, knowing that we took an innocent man out. So that was a low point.
So that was a group, wasn't it? It was like a conspiracy. You were a co-conspirator in that case.
It was a conspiracy. It was peer pressure. It was intoxicated off drugs, paranoid, and the wrong advice. It was just all, it's just mad.
How did you find out that he was innocent?
To the facts.
Was it like case paperwork or?
It just all came to light through the rat that told me he'd been involved. It was the rat that tried to kill me. It's messy. So the fella that tried to kill me then put David Regan in the picture for the murder. It's mad, mate.
Playing both sides.
Yeah, that's exactly what he done.
Where were you when you found out that the victim was innocent?
In jail.
What did that do to your head?
Ruined me. Because don't forget, this victim, this David Regan, I used to go for Sunday dinners in his house when I was a kid with Nicola, William Moore's girlfriend, Adam Regan, David's eldest son. I've protected him on 1 or 2 occasions when he's had his bike robbed, and I've went and got his bike back and broke a jaw for him. I remember breaking this John Cromer's jaw because he robbed Adam Regan's bike. His mum's got Nicky Curry's got onto me. Can I get the bike back? I broke the kid's jaw and got the bike back. So we were tight. When we were young, I used to go round to Nicky's mum's and have my tea. Like, people heard of this Chucky, Melissa. I used to be in Melissa's every Sunday eating food. And then this rat just kicked in and destroyed everything, if you like. But, you know, let's not forget Craig and all this. You know, Craig was a young child. He was a child and he had men kill him. I retaliated on the wrong information and I regret it thoroughly. But there's nothing I can do. I'm not seeking approval from the family. It is what it is.
So you found out, you said it wrecked your head. Like, is that just, it's just that's in you then for the rest of your life?
It's there, innit? You know, I'm not going to let that go. I'm a pure soul, I'm admitting me wrong. No one knew he was innocent until I told you he was innocent. You know, it is what it is. I'm being open and honest with you. I regret what's gone on with him. I regret what's happening with little Adam, his son, because now his son is fucked in the system. If his dad was still there, he wouldn't be fucked in the system. So I'm responsible for that as well. Do you understand?
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it is that motivates you now to put your life on the line, to do the good that you're doing.
Look, I'm repaying what I've done wrong, and he's part of that. David Regan is part of, you know, he's an innocent man. He got his life took and he's left kids and them kids like, I know what I've done. I'm not a millionaire, and I know money won't solve the problem. But what I've got this energy, and I've got this message, and I am rehabilitated. Not the way the state have done it, the way I've done it myself. You know, I've conquered these fears. I've got through this mess. I've admitted me wrongs. For the past 4 years, I've done nothing but get targeted, try and get provoked to go back into the game, commit crimes. I've committed no crimes. I've been homeless 3 times. I've had to move 16 different times. I'm currently in supported accommodation right now because I was homeless 2 weeks before Christmas. So, you know, I can live a poor life. I don't need all this dough and all this. I know I need dough to keep myself fed. If I'm not strong and the message isn't strong, it's the only thing. I just need food, water, and a roof over my head, and this message is flowing. And that's all I'm happy with. I'm just happy with the basics in life.
It's good to hear that, Darren, because you've took it to a whole new level today. You've really shown what's inside you. You know, I was a person who was importing drugs and you know, causing that harm. My mum had a nervous breakdown. My sister had to have counselling. And just seeing their faces, you know, in court, pleading for the judge when I was facing a life sentence.
That's what I'm saying, that. So you know.
That motivates me to keep on this track of helping young people and doing the right thing, helping people who've got out of prison and stuff like that. And showing that remorse and letting people know that that factor has wounded your heart, that an innocent person, yeah.
If I'm an evil and cold piece of shit, I wouldn't sit there and drop a tear for this man. Because I have. I'm not scared to admit it. You know, I'm man enough to say I cry. on a regular fucking basis, mate. They don't know why, it just happens. But, you know, don't sit there and think 1 minute, I'm this pure evil piece of shit that doesn't regret that 18th of May. I regret it fully, not for my own personal issues, for the kids of the dad that's gone. That's the angle I come from. I know the damage I've done to that family. They don't need to rub it in my face. You know, I'm trying to correct my ways now to save other families. Embrace it. You hate me. You all hate me. You can hate me all you want. It's not going to stop me promoting this message. But the real people out there, grab the message, do something with it. It's working. It works. It's already there. All you got to do is promote it, get it going, and it'll change more lives.
And even more people are going to jump on after watching this because they're going to see the pureness of your motivation.
Well, it is. I said it in the last one. I've got a conviction that no one can snap, and I'm going to carry it out. No, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how much money you've got, what manner you are, whether you're the law, whether you're going to kill me. I'm on this path. I've always had this feeling I've got something great inside me, and I'm on this path, and I'm searching for that greatness, and it's there. For the past 2 or 3 years, I'm getting through everything. I don't care what you're going to put in my way. I don't care. You can try and kill me, you can stab me, you can call me a nonce, you can call me a grass, you can do this, you can do that. I do not care. I'm on this path. I've got this feeling within me, and I'm following this feeling. I don't care who you are. I'm on this path. I'm following my feeling, and I'm going to get there either way. Whether at the end it's death, I don't know what it is. I don't know what this light is that I'm grasping hold of, but I'm grasping hold of it, and I don't even know what it is. But it's making me work. It's making me move. It's making me work forward. I'm moving every day towards this light. I don't know why, but I'm going there. I don't know what's at the end of it, but I'm believing in it, and I'm going with it.
Through this podcast and James English, I've got to fully understand your mission right now. But I imagine some people are wondering then, let's separate Darren G from the mission. Who is Darren G, the man, and where is he going?
I just want me, Darren G, as a man, is just a beat up little child.
And where's he going?
He doesn't know where he's going.
So, do you structure your life? Do you have a plan, or is it just spontaneous?
I'm just flowing. I'm just going with the flow, and wherever the energy takes me, that's where I'm ending up.
And this energy you're putting out right now, where is it taking you?
To positive places.
And how big do you think it's going to get, your message?
The message is there. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be heard. You know, you can say it quiet, choose a life, not a knife. It's still going to be heard. You haven't got to scream it everywhere because it's already there.
But we've got to get it to more people.
It needs to get out, and that's my mission. I need more people to resonate with my story and understand that you have got your life, you have got your own thing, you've got your own path, you've got your own ladder. Just start walking on it, just start climbing it. Embrace it, stay motivated. You'll come up against brick walls. You'll have people come into your life that'll knock you back for a few months because they're not real. Embrace it, learn off them experiences, but keep going. Keep going. Stay focused on your own light. You've got your own light, you've got your own belief, you've got your own motivation. Find it and go with it. Don't run with it because you'll fall over. Just go nice and slow and everything will fall into place for you as you get along. Choose your life and not a knife. Fuck the gun and love your mum. You can say what you like. The bottom line is, do not enroll in this system. If you haven't got choices, as soon as you can make the choice, come away from the system.
So in my life, I've set about things and I've got momentum and I've not seen the obstacles coming at me. And my own psychology has played into my self-destruction, just total meltdown, lost absolutely everything, had to rebuild. This cycle has been going throughout my life. You've got the momentum right now. You've already had this first level of barriers that you've burnt through now. So your momentum now is even stronger.
With that momentum, though, there's more barriers.
That's what I'm going to ask. What potential threats and challenges do you see coming at you in the future that you can prepare for now so they won't get one over on you?
You see, the only thing that can stop me is death. And I'm prepared for death. And I have been for years. Death doesn't faze me like it does the government. You know, if I could preach about your death day like I do your birthday, I would. Because your death day is very, very, very important. Why would you not want to plan it?
And that would produce a legacy, but the people who love you don't want to see that happen. They want to see you get to this bigger audience, save more kids from going down the paths, and that just has that effect there where it just blows out into the whole community of all the, you know, it's not just the kid, it's the mum, it's the dad.
I know. I'm touching every generation. I'm unique in that sense. Why? Because I've got 5-year-old kids shouting my name out, and I've got 65-year-old mums shouting my name out. Not many have got that. I don't know why I've got it. I'm touching every generation. You know, the older generation have heard from me negative stuff. The younger generation are hearing me for me positive stuff. Now, as I said, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, they're all looking at me. L5 alive, choose a life, not a knife, positive figure. But then you've got the rats casing me, which is making me look not right in the eyes of these people I'm trying to impress and inspire and motivate. So you've got to understand where I'm coming from. You know, I'm battling hard to change a narrative in most inner cities, council estates. I'm battling hard by myself. I don't get no support off no councils. I don't get no government grants. I don't get nothing. Everything you're seeing with choose a life, not a knife, is coming from me, except for the hashtag. Now, you've got people around the country trying to dilute the cause by calling it choose life, not a knife, missing the choose a life. That's just people diluting it, but they're still sharing the message. You know what I mean? So, no more knives, for example. If another company down there started going, all more knives, they'd start suing them. They'd start, oh, you shouldn't be using our name. When you're not thinking about the message they're sending, fuck the using the name. They're still getting the same message out to the same people you're trying to get it out to. So I've got choose a life, not a knife. If you want to use choose a life, not a knife and promote it for the right reasons, do it. If you want me to sponsor your boxing club, get in touch with me. I'll sponsor your boxing club with choose a life, not a knife. Do you understand what I mean? The opportunities are there to make this spread. It's there. You've got decent Scousers, decent Londoners, decent Manchester kids. Doesn't matter where you're from. We're all dealing with the same issues. There's people on the same mindset as me who want to make this change. The only way it's going to succeed is if we all come together and embrace the message for what it is. It works. It works. So why aren't everyone embracing it?
So I know we're on lockdown right now and the schools are closed. Young people watching this are going to be like, right, when the school reopens, I'm going to talk to my PSHE teacher, my citizenship teacher, whatever, whoever's in charge of outside speakers, to reach out to you to have you come into the school. Is that possible at this when the schools reopen?
Anything's possible for me. If I'm in danger, I will not go into a school and place kids in danger. But there's other ways of getting me in the school. You know, my last podcast, I can edit that down so it's friendly for school environments, and you can put it on in an assembly and watch all the kids relate. I haven't got to be there personally in the environment. But that's just in Liverpool. Now, that's all happened. I've had school inquiries. I've had kids getting on me who were in charge of like team leaders within year 6 form, and they go to the... I've had all that. And I've sat down in offices with heads of schools and everything's looking positive. And then, okay, yeah, we've just got to run it through the police liaison officer. Done. As soon as it touches the police liaison officer, it's shut down. Gone. Think. All my hope shattered. But I still carry on because I know it's the law now that's trying to mute my message. They're not promoting it. They know it works, but they're not promoting it because it's coming from my mouth. Now, if you had another little Scouser, shouting this message the way he has and got it out the way he has and promoted it the way he has, and it's getting heard national now, they'd be embracing him. They'd be bringing him in. They'd be promoting it. They'd be advertising it. No, they're not doing it with me because of my past. And the abuse I've suffered at the hands of the policemen that I've exposed. You know, you've got to understand the police force is an organisation. It's just like McDonald's. It's an organisation with thousands of workers, and they all do as they're told. If you don't, you get sacked.
All right, so we've had police on the podcast, and I've watched like prison guards in prisons, how they behave. I came to the conclusion that there's good and bad in every profession, and there's a lot of bent, crooked, like what you've described today.
Every walk of life.
Now, earlier on, you said, I don't want the law supporting me.
Yeah.
Do you think that some good people on that side could help you get in the schools?
Look, I stereotype the law because they stereotype me. So I treat you the way you're treating me. Now, the law have just treated me bad. Now, don't get it twisted. I know that uniform is worn by very decent people. They're not all rotten. I know the uniform from the ambulance service, the military service, whatever. In all them uniforms that are branches of the state and the government, there is decent, well-worthy human beings that hold up the law, that save and protect us. But there's a few bad apples. And it's the same in any walk of life. In the criminal fraternity, criminals are decent people. Whether you like it or not, yeah, they might do that to break the law and make some money for the family. But individually, you have got some criminals that are proper, decent, caring individuals. Every walk of life. But you've also got the rotten ones. So if you've got rotten gangsters, all gangsters are rotten. If you've got rotten police, all police are rotten. And that's just the way it works. So when I'm screaming, I don't want support of the law. I don't want support of that organisation. If you work in that organisation, you can take your uniform off and come and talk to me like I'm not in an interview. There you go. It is what it is. You're getting exactly the same respect I'm giving Shaun. You know, I don't hate all police, if that's what you're trying to suggest. I hate the law and the methods they use to damage people.
So when I was a criminal, I didn't want to have anything to do with the police. The police sometimes come to my talks these days. I have discussions with the staff members. They're like, yeah, you know, it needs to be hard hitting, the kids are desensitised and stuff like that, supporting what I'm doing. You just said then you don't want to have anything to do with the law, but don't you think a potential future barrier is, at some point, if you sat down with some of these good officers...
Look, you know what? Look, it's all about the message with me. It's about the message. I can sit in a room with Lol Carr, who stitched me brother up 15 years ago, and not give him shit, and not use bias on him if we're talking about the message, and we're promoting the message in a positive fashion. I'm not saying, you know, I will not let that be a barrier, but they would. It's them that's creating the barrier with the law, not me.
But don't you think that's just a group of them that've got it in for you and your family?
But that group, if the law that's got it in for me, they're very fucking powerful because they've held this message down for 2 years in Liverpool. Not a meme. You know, they're controlling everything. Matrix, Gun Gang, Andy Cook. But at the same time, they know they can't let a G be successful and be... They can't stand on a stage next to a G while a G is being congratulated for all the work and effort he's done in the community. They won't have it. Do you understand?
And as much as what you described earlier, what happened to the victim motivating you, the fact that they don't want you to be successful, doesn't that motivate you even more?
Badly. Yeah, badly though, because they've never wanted me since the age of 13. You know, they've been damaging me indirectly and directly, whenever they want and however they want, whether that's to the universal credit saying my claim's messed up so I can't get no dough for a month. This is all what the police can do to you if they want to, and it happens to loads of individuals, especially ex-prisoners who have got out. They've changed their ways. They're trying to set up shop by creating a little business or somewhere, but the council are just not playing ball. Now, it's not the council not playing ball, it's the police telling the council he can't play ball. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, they're putting this pressure on you.
They want, how can I put this without sounding, they want a Christian Jihadi John. They want a Christian suicide bomber. They want a Christian to run around the streets of London and just start stabbing people. They want that.
They want you to fail.
Yeah.
Because they got it in for you and your family.
Yeah.
And then they can say, look, he was on YouTube saying he was this good, virtuous man, but really he was full of shit. He's back in prison where he deserves to be, but they've actually created that situation.
Yeah, and they probably would have completed it if I wouldn't have cried out. Not everyone's got this chance of me where I can screech out and cry for help on social media. There's loads of people in my position that get targeted by the authorities and all its branches. I don't just mean the police. You know, the council start targeting you, the social services start targeting you. It's not just a one-dimensional situation now. When the police go to your house and raid your house for drugs, the next thing they do is refer social services to your family. Straight away. You know, you're not dealing with just police now. You're dealing with a big, strong force that all work behind your back. They all talk behind your back. They're writing reports behind your back. Everything, it's just all messy now. But they're getting away with it.
Yeah, and it's through this analysis that people watching this are understanding how they can help you, because you're clearing up exactly what your situation is. And I've had messages coming for people. We've got to help Darren G. Come on, how can we help Darren G?
Now, I get this off the last podcast. I've got loads of people that are coming in with help of materialistic things. I'm not a materialistic person. I need money to eat and live and whatever, but I'm not a materialist. I sit here without watches on, not because I can't buy one. I can't buy one, but I sold my last one so I could eat food. Do you understand what I mean?
You should at least have a page up that people can donate to so you can feed yourself and pay your rent.
People are asking me for money all the time. We want to send you money, we want to send you money. There's a PayPal account there. You can put money in it if you want.
That'll be in the description box below this
video. But what I have
got,
I've set a GoFund page up. And this GoFundMe page, it's not for me. It's not for me. I'm requesting to make £55,555 just because of the number 5. That 55 grand will be going to 5 community centres that I know can't keep the doors open year in, year out because they've got no funding. They can't pay electric, they can't pay gas. And I know to experience, because I've seen kids who are looking forward going to these dance clubs. They're going there and coming back because it's closed because they can't open and it's too cold. So with that 55 grand, it will come in. I'm not going to touch it till it comes in. It won't be for no self-assumption at all. Nothing will be coming to me. Food, anything. Nothing will be coming to me. It'll be coming in this palm, straight to that community centre. There's 4 years rent. Electric, gas remained open. Bit of equipment. Same with you. Same with you. Same with you. Same with you. So now I've got 5 establishments that I know are open, that I'm going to try and sponsor, that I'm going to try and supply the kit, the stuff they need. But also, when I'm telling all yous, choose a life, not a knife, you've got choices. You've got other things to do. You don't have to stand over there with them and smoke weed. It's pointless me saying all that if you've got no centres open. So if I'm saying to you, you don't have to stand there and all that with them. Where are they going to go? Because there's no community centres open. So the first thing is you need places, an alternative route. And it's the community centres within the country that's going to create them alternative routes. For some reason, the government decided to shut hundreds and hundreds of them up and down the land when they're the most essential thing for the youth. But they're locking them down and letting the kids run wild and then asking why they're running wild. It's because you're shutting every avenue down on them.
That was a credit crunch. They handed all that money over to the bankers and shut the community centres down for the kids. Wasn't it 2/3 of the community centres got shut down?
But what that done, all them kids that had a network of love and care, doesn't matter if you only got it for 2 hours a night, at least they had somewhere to go in that day to get out that house, out of that abusive environment, to go and chill out with people of their own kind and relaxing in an atmosphere. They just whipped it all away from them.
And then the riots happened, and they wondered why there was the riots.
Well, there you go. And still, right now, after the riots, they're still not opening clubs. They're still closing clubs. That's insane. So how do you expect a society to get better if you haven't got a government supplying for the needs?
So you want to set up
If you're a family, you're the head of a family. If you don't supply food and money and this and that, your family will fall to pieces, right? If you're the head of a community and you're not supplying the things the community needs, it's going to fall to pieces. It's simple maths, you know. You haven't got to be a rocket scientist to work out what's going wrong in every community up and down the land. It's drugs and nothing to do. And when you've got nothing to do, you find something to do, and mainly it's turning to fucking drugs. So, you know, sort your heads out, get these centres open back up.
So they were closed and you're going to reopen them. Is that the plan?
No,
The 5 centres.
yeah, what I'm saying is these centres can open for 2 nights a week because that's all they can afford.
So they were previous centres that the government closed. Is that what they were?
Yeah, and then what you've got is mums and dads and aunties from a couple of streets around the area potting in, getting a deposit and opening that church to supply somewhere for the kids to dance, but they can't afford to keep it open. They're getting no government grants because they're not registered as this charity. Like, I'm not registered as a charity.
Those charities are a scam anyway. A lot of it doesn't even go to the...
It's just, look, the scams. You put £1 into a charity, 20 pence is getting to where it needs to go, 80 pence is going into the pockets of the rich. So you don't need to register your charity to be charitable. Trust me.
So once this money starts coming in, you're going to open certain nights a week.
I'm not gonna open nothing. All I'm gonna do for them people that are struggling to open is go to them, people who are struggling. You're open for 4 years every night without a concern. You know, there's 4 years of solid foundation for your centre to build on.
So you're waiting till them...
And if I can refer kids to your club. You know what I mean?
Totally. So you're waiting for all the money to come in first.
I can't do
to
nothing.
do that.
Yeah, I can't do
and then say, look, now you're open for X number of time with this amount of money.
Right. And then I can start plotting. I can start like youth centres. You know, that club there is dedicated to boxing and CrossFit and they've got domestic violence and initiatives going on in there. Then that club's concentrated for the 50-year-olds who like to have a dance and just chill out and have a little bingo calling. Then that club's over there dedicated to domestic violence and justice. And so it just needs to be done right. Needs to be done right. If you've got 1,000 kids on the street who like to rap and like to get in a studio, why isn't there a big centre there with 3 studios in it? Where they're all just there and you know they're there, you know they're safe, you know.
And have you picked the first 5?
I've picked 2.
2?
Yeah.
Are you able to say, or do you want to...
There's only one I want to mention. It's on the end of my mum's estate in Everton. I used to go there when I was a child. It was a Sunday school. And we used to go there like a Sunday school when we were proper 6s or something like that. Since I got out of prison, I've always looked at it. When I was in prison, I've wanted to buy this building. I don't know why. It's just a little old church. It's like it's not brick. Do you understand what I mean? It's like a little church that could be... Well, anyway, I've got back how I'm looking at it. It's in ruins, and you've got this little dance group in there. There's only 6 or 7 girls in there with one mum opening up. It's damp, the floor's fucked. There's no advertisement, there's no lighting, it's not secure. And I'm just thinking to myself, why aren't, you know, you've closed that over there, but you're not funding this neither. So the first thing I'm going to do with that club, because it's at the end of my Mars estate, and I know how vital it is for my Mars estate, you know, the kids on there. I just want to get it up and running so it's sustainable for 4 years. So the doors are open every night. So the kids aren't planning to go to dancing on the Wednesday and coming back crying because it's shut, because it's too cold. So I'm just doing what I can.
And how old were you when you went there?
6 or 7, I think.
And you remember it?
Yeah, Sunday school.
Sunday school.
Did you ever go to Sunday school?
I think I did. I can hardly remember it. No, not for very long.
We only went to get away.
Do you remember what kind of activity they did when you were there?
It was just nonsense.
Yeah,
It was
playing
just
games and stuff.
clap, sing. Remember this hymn? Remember that hymn?
Yeah,
Say your prayer.
yeah.
Get the hula hoops out and throw them over Skittles. I remember that game. You have these big Skittles down there and you give you these hoops to throw them on the Skittles.
Yeah.
Daft game, but at that time, keeps you focused on it.
So you've got this plan. There's potentially more obstacles going to come at you.
Yeah, definitely. Without a shadow of a doubt.
And have you got counter attacks for when these obstacles arise?
You can't attack obstacles.
But I mean a game plan, a strategy to get around the obstacles, the new ones that are going to rise.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking mentally then about overcoming those things?
Well, you're talking about things that haven't came yet.
But this is the thing, people say,
No, but look,
Darren needs help. You've got to think about what's going to come at you to keep going before they come at you.
the only thing I've got to overcome is myself.
That's true.
The only thing I've got to overcome is myself.
Yeah.
I'm my own obstacle here.
Yeah.
The way I feel towards people, trust issues, people are being kind and I'm questioning that kindness, but it's just pure kindness. But because of what I've been through, I'm questioning that kindness.
I want to say to the people who have helped you and are helping you, are thinking about helping you, I've read a lot of stuff that Darren has written that people are not privy to. And when out of the blue, people start being nice and helping someone like Darren, because of the horrendous things he's been through, he starts wondering in the back of his head, why are these people being nice to me? But then it goes a level further and he starts to self-annihilate the help.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Because of these patterns that have been laid down since the childhood that he describes in these pages.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
so I want to.
Page out. Hold on.
Yeah. Just for the people who are helping, who are thinking about helping Darren, and have already helped him. You got to give him the space mentally, and you got to understand these reactions are going to arise, and he's going to push you away because of his patterns. But knowing this is coming, you've got to give him that space and keep helping him no matter what he throws at you, because he might get aggressive, he might say negative things, but it's all laid in from what's happened in his book.
Yeah, it's all about the book. Yeah, I'll just read you a quick page. I'll read you one page. This is page 49. And it kicks in like this. Thinking is right. We're a bit stronger now against the Moss side, so around tea time, they enter the dining room, like I did previously, got left to their own devices. Everyone was staring at them, including us. The lads were big and stocky, about 17. I reckon everyone was getting their food, and that's what these Scousers should have done. But no word of a lie, they walked to the middle of the dining room, sat at a table, and then started crying. I can carry on reading that. That's about a kid called Gary Kane.
Keep going a little bit if you want.
Anyway, and then he began to fucking cry. Haha. It was weird to see these big kids crying and everyone on them instantly throwing chips at them, screaming fake cries and that. That's just a little 10 lines in the book about Warrington House when a well-known Scousers come in there called Adam Turner and Gary Kane. Big steroid heads, but they were crying.
Yeah.
In this dining room. So these big hard lads have come into this environment and just crumbled.
Which was your world.
Yeah. Which was my world, yeah.
Yeah. So people have asked, are you going to have a book out? And we've had a discussion. Other people have expressed interest.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell people at this point about the status of your book?
The status of my book is it's not written. The status of this book is this was written over a year ago. I left it with Shaun. In that year, my life's gone a bit astray. I've managed to get this back now today. I'm going to finish it off. It's going to be true. It's going to be all sorts of incidents. It's all going to be all different sorts of situations and dilemmas of concern with childhood abuse and all that stuff. But the main core of it is what I've been through and where I'm at now to deliver this message I'm delivering. The book is going to be called Choose a Life, Not a Knife. I know it sounds a little bit scatty, but that's the title of the book. Choose a Life, Not a Knife. And why am I calling that? Because that's the story of my life. That's why I'm here still. Choose a life, not a knife. Save my life. And it can save others. And that's why I promote it.
And are you going to give a signed copy to the lady in Croydon?
Obviously, if she ever gets back in touch with me, I've been trying to locate her.
No way, you're not in touch with her?
Nah. But she'll probably get back on me.
Yeah. Someone's going to find her, watch.
Well, she's on the hashtag.
Whoever's watching this, find her. You'll find her. People out there will find her.
A woman from Croydon. Small black hair, that's all I can remember.
Just give us the details again of how you heard that message. It came from on your phone, was it? And it was from what Like, what were you watching on your phone that came through? Like, what kind of a message?
What I do when I like certain like initiatives, when I've got out, I'm thinking like anti-crime initiatives. So
Yeah.
I put notifying things on when they drop something. I'll get a bing so I can
Yeah.
see it straight away.
So she posted something on like Facebook or something like that, Twitter, and you got a notification.
Yeah. And that came up.
She will be found.
But it was just like it was on Instagram. It was just a black.
Oh, it was on Instagram. It popped up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a black. You know on Instagram where you get a notification, ding,
Don't go on
you
it.
get a little thing.
I gotta admit, I don't go on it. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I that's all I've done since I've got out.
Yeah.
That, I've got out. Technology's through the roof. First time I've had the iPhone, I'm stuck to it.
Yeah.
But choose life, not a knife. She's a nice woman. I spoke to her. She gave me the authority to take her on. I took her on. But there's a police initiative attached to it as well.
Is there?
In Croydon. A police station's attached to the Shout in Croydon. So.
Well, Croydon's not too far away from here. So when you give her that signed book, man, me and James and Joel come up and we'll film that moment. That'll be classic.
If I'm still alive.
You're going to be alive. You got all these people helping you.
I know, but
You got all these people helping
it
you.
doesn't matter who's helping you, mate. When death comes, it comes.
But your future is a product of the people you're associating with now.
Exactly, and what I've done, and I hope like use people can realise and believe that I've left that criminal fraternity behind. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm stuck in it because of my past, but my future's nothing to do with it. My future's this message. My future's changing lives, and my future's preventing other kids from entering a system that not only destroys that child, it destroys everyone around him. Everyone, his family, his sisters, his siblings. Even if he's got none, he'll destroy them when he gets older because he hasn't had a family around him. He won't know how to adapt with his own family. So it is what it is.
What year were you released from the long sentence?
2016.
Do you consider yourself institutionalised?
Yeah.
Are you shaking that off?
Yeah.
How are you shaking it off?
By self-discipline.
Fitness?
Yeah.
Like today you said you were up at 5, you were walking in the hills.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm an adventurer. I like to be out and about. So when I'm locked in, I start getting depressed and because I don't know what, in jail, I adapted to it. I could deal with it, dealt with all my emotions. Out here, it's a different sort of I was in there, I'm getting targeted by screws and batons. Out here, I'm getting targeted by drug dealers and guns. So I'm still in the same sort of environment. I'm not free.